Hello everybody, my name is Gentlest Page, and today I will be looking at LEGO set 75170, Star Wars Rebels The Phantom. The set was released in 2017, where it retailed about €40, although I can remember it going in stores for 50, which is way too expensive. That's why I never got it, until they had it on clearance for 25. And if I knew that the set would be worth so much, I would have bought more. But that's it for. I will go into that. Because this set, it retail. Well, if you want to get it right now, you will probably be paying at least 70 used. Probably a lot more. And it's mostly because of the figures. So let's get into those first. We have 3 figures. And and I believe 2 of them to be exclusive. So let's start with the non-exclusive one, Chopper. This is Chopper, and it's a pretty good representation of him. Quite a smaller droid. He has the right headpiece. Where it's a really accurate variant, and it's kind of straight. Kinda. I mean, yeah, the line is lower on the back than it is on the front, but at least it's consistent. Where it is better in the front than in the back. But as for the face, he also has top print, which is pretty unique. And he looks pretty great. He has the slits for where his arms should be. They're not included, but they're suggestions that they are there. And he looks pretty cool. Also has the smooth tile. And you can roll him around. Pretty great. But he was also in the other Phantom. And maybe one other set, but I believe that's it. But let's go on to the other rebel, Kanan. And here we have Kanan Jarrus in his version of Season 3 and I believe further. I'm still at that point in the show, that's why I waited this long to make the review, to know a little bit more about both characters. And because he was blinded by Darth Maul, he has this pretty great visor and the blind eyes and a bit of a more smiling face, which is pretty cool to have him. And he looks really accurate seeing the show. His lightsaber is the right color, although I would have loved it to be able to be separated like he has most of the time, but that's not really an option. But it looks really great. Even his face looks really cool. Both sides of it. So he is exclusive to the set, which is probably one of the reasons why this set is so expensive. But the other reason is probably the real reason. And that is Grand Admiral Thrawn. And he was like a villain, I believe, in both season 3 and 4. And he's like a military commander-ish, where he was really good at it, as far as I know. So I can understand why people love this guy. He has like a medium azure headpiece with red eyes and a dark red hairpiece, and his eyes, they're really cool. Although he is really missing the thinness of his face in both occasions. Although this one is a little bit better, but he is a character which would have loved to get like a thinner face. But Lego would never do it. At least I don't believe in the same size, but just a little bit smaller, because it wouldn't just be compatible. But also the right markings and the white costume, which is really cool compared to other admirals in the show and probably in Lego form. I don't have any on hand, but that's it for the figures. Let's go into the build. And here is the Phantom. And it is the second version of the Phantom. I sadly don't have the original or the Ghost to pair them up or compare them. I probably will be building the Phantom version 1 out of my own pieces. And maybe if I'll do that, I will give you a comparison, but I sadly don't have the Ghost. It's really expensive. But this is the set, and you have a cockpit and tray on the back and the landing gear. Note this landing gear, if you're spinning it around like I am, they will probably bend over and fall, as you can see here. But first of all, in the universe, it is a Separatist shuttle, revamped and recolored. Kind of changed some bits around. They shortened the fin on the back, made it like a real cockpit, and it made it a, well, they recolored it and they made it the Phantom. So it's a really cool ship. But first of all, let's go into the landing gear, because the landing gear you can close it up. Well, you can do it really easy, like just folding it up, but then you see some space. So if you give 2 more clicks per landing gear, like feet or whatever they're called, then you can place them down and have it flying like this, which looks pretty cool. I do believe so. And as for the top, it does have a lot of stickers. Like every detail you'll see is a sticker. Maybe, well, apart from this control panel. So if you get this set new, which I doubt, just know that there are going to be some stickers on there. And if you get this set used, be wary that the stickers might not be applied correctly. As you can see here, my big problem with placing stickers on these curved parts is where they will ball out. So you have to repress them down every once in a bit. It's just pretty annoying because every time they will stick less. But that's it for the exterior. There's one function it has, or multiple functions, but the first function is you can pop off the cockpit. And it looks as though it should be, it was intended to be this way, but I haven't seen it do that in the show, so maybe later. I don't know if it is canon to do so, but for play feature, it is there. And you have a ramp on the back side, which you can load a little crate in. This crate has, it should have one it should have one detonator in there, but you get a spare one, so I just already put 2 in there. It has a beautiful sticker, and you can place it in if it wants to close. Then you can place it in and close it up. And it also has another feature, which is shooting these missiles. And you sadly can't shoot them, well, sadly, it's really great. It's hidden, and which is maybe even better. You have this little yellow thing, and you can push it side to side, and when you do, it shoots them out. So I will be pushing it this way, so towards the camera, and then you can see it will, hoping to catch it, it will shoot. Yeah, there it is. And because it is so well hidden, and there isn't like a big red knob, well, it is yellow, but it's kinda fits in with the color scheme. And next to that, it what is it called? Next to that, it isn't really that easy to hit, because regular flick fire missiles, you hit them pretty easily accidentally, and in this case, it really, well, it stops that because they are pretty great hidden in here. Then for the cockpit, for the seating actually, because you have Chopper and Kanan. And if we take Kanan's lightsaber off, pull off the windshield, make him sit down, you can see that there is a spot for him. I have to look myself. Right there, sitting upright, and you can place the cockpit back up. And for Chopper, there's a pretty great space up here, where you can simply put him, and you have Chopper in his, I believe it's the right position, which is really great. But the lightsaber, and this is what I like with the ship with a little bit of cargo space, because you can simply put the lightsaber in here, close it back up, and you have everything you need to be in the ship. Now for some gripes. Well, first of all, I'm going to my thoughts process. But first of all, the sizing isn't accurate. Like, well, the scale maybe, but the room you have in the interior isn't that good. Because maybe if you want to, you can like fit a figure in the back right here, but it isn't really that easy to do. Because if you want to be putting a figure in here, you will have to be laying down, and that's just not that good of a, well, not good of a space use, because you can just use it for crates. And in the series, you are able to, well, put like 4 or 5 characters in there pretty comfortably, and there is no lock between there's nothing in between this part where they can just walk all the way from the back to the front, which this also doesn't have because of structural issues otherwise. So if you want to recreate scenes, you will be disappointed. But if you want to create scenes where it's just in the background, or just as one character, or one character in Chopper, then it works really well. And next to that, it looks really good. It captures the look like almost perfectly, and it's just a beautiful set. And I can see why I can see that it got expensive. I can understand it because of especially this figure, but I don't agree with it, because so good of a set. Well, it isn't such good of a set to be at 70 euros or even more. No, definitely not. I was lucky to get it for 25, and I was like, yeah, for 35 I won't even get it, because it's too small of a ship. Because, well, it's pretty dense, it has a lot of features, but it's a quite small build. But yeah, that's it with Star Wars. They have, well, irregular pricing, but that's my main gripe with the set. If it's better than the original or than the other version, totally different ship. They just have the same name and the same use. But if it's better, I don't know. I'll probably, if I ever get the set, or when I build my version of it, then I will probably give you my answer if it's better or not. But until then, it's a pretty great set if you can get it for the right price and how much you want to spend on just one great figure. But that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I do have a speed build in the description, and I recently gained 50 subscribers. If you're one of them, thank you. If you're not, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.